This week flew by fast, but then again, I did kind of take 2 days off because of my car messing up. Pretty much, I said in the other video, woke up the other morning, wanting to go to work. It was Monday. And I didn't see any water. I was like, what in the world? So I went upstairs, asked my fiance to come down and make sure that I'm not tripping. And she looked, clearly there was none. I mean, there was still some in the system because we poured some water in there just to make sure. And we poured about, a cup or so. But we ended up, bringing it to the shop the next day because I personally look at it like there must be a small leak. And I don't want to end up on the side of the road without AAA or anything like that because my luck, that's happened before. But, so take it to the shop and they put it under pressure. Long story short, we spent like $76 for them to look at it and all that. They said that they didn't find any leaks, but they could have missed the leak because it could be super, super small. Plus, the car isn't new. It's an old car. It's an 05. So, plus it's the Dodge. So, yeah. And they even said that which I knew the system needed to be flushed anyway. But they said that they didn't really want to flush it because if they did, then the particles that are in the system right now could be plugging up the actual leak, and it can make it bigger if they flushed it and all that stuff. So they said, that's up to you. It's not that big of a deal right now, so I decided not to do it, and we'll just wait. Hopefully real soon, we save even more money than what we already have and get another car. So I'm kind of tired of having to leave a little early from work because she needs a car at night to do what she needs to do, It just messes with the hours. It's not like I actually don't mind getting off. I mean, to be honest, how can I put this? The company I work for, it's not a big company, as I mentioned before. And since it's not, a lot of small companies are going to have a lot more nepotism there than a place that has thousands, if not, millions of employees. And it's still going to happen, but it's not going to happen on a scale of how it is in a smaller company like where I work. Me and a coworker were even talking about it, or not today. It was the other day. I believe it was yesterday. Pretty much, me and him been working for the same company for the same amount of time. And our old foreman was the guy that I mentioned before. And he's now super. His son, like 18, 19-year-old kid, not even with the company a year, is on the dozer. And he's been passed up plenty of times to, move up to be a foreman and stuff like that. Plus, even I have, My brother has. If you look at it, my brother's been here, I don't know, I'm going to guess. If I remember correctly, I was here about 3 years before he came on. So, let's see, 3 years. I've been here almost 9. So, he's been here right around 5 or 6 years, depending, give or take, if I remember the dates correctly. He's still on a rock truck. I could totally understand if somebody wants to stay at a certain position, then that's cool. But I've always wanted to move up. I've asked my old foreman, hey, can you teach me how, can you let me get on this equipment or that equipment? And he would just kind of brush it off. He's let other people do it. But then again, I've never, that was my old boss, mind you. That's my dad, my brother, and my old foreman before he became superintendent. And his uncle is VP. And then I guess his other uncle, I guess that's what it is, because it's only by marriage. They're not blood related. He's like the brother of the VP, so he pretty much taken over his position anyway. But, I've asked him, and he's pretty much passed me up, I mean, I've never done anything to him. The only thing that I've ever done to him is I've never stroked his ego. I was never an ass kisser. Sorry about that. It's the train. I'm trying to get away from it so you guys can hear me, because it's loud. But I've never been an ass kisser. I've never been that type of person to come up to you and stroke your ego and be all buddy-buddy with you. The only people I've ever become buddy-buddy with is the guy that I've just talked to yesterday. Well, we're not best friends. We only talk here and there at work. And so you can call it more like work acquaintances. But the only people I really actually talk to are the people that are right there in my position, the people that are operators. I'll talk to the supers or the foremans if I have to, but I'm not going to be on no personal level with them. I'm just not that type of person. I mean, whether you think that's right or wrong or stupid, that's your opinion. I've never been that type of person to stroke somebody's ego just so I can possibly get ahead in life. But like I said, it's just the way the world works. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And that guy that I told you, my old foreman, he don't like me. Not because, what the hell is that? I think that's a black cat. It's a black cat. But I've never been disrespectful to him. It's more the fact that I've never put up with his shit before, if that makes sense. I've never sat here and took his BS. I mean, I never have, never will. I've never been that type of guy. Because, that's how I was raised. I'll be respectful until I feel like I'm disrespected. And then, I pick my own battles. I'm not going to just go straight off on you and just start, calling you out your name or anything. I pick my own battles. If I feel like I am in the right for coming back at you the way you came back at me, then cool. But sometimes I'll just let it kind of slide. But it all really depends on the situation. But the only other time that I can think of with him that he's ever gotten really pissed off at me it was over something stupid. Pretty much, I just started there a couple months. I was on the roller still, and I was eating my lunch. My dad was on his track loader at the time. There was a dozer right behind me. They all had their machines on, mind you. And I'm facing my dad's loader while eating my sub sandwich. It was from Subway. And my dad and the dozer operator were talking. And then I didn't hear nobody behind me because, mind you, I'm eating my food at lunch. And, the equipment's still on because they don't want to be hot in their equipment. It's middle summertime. And I guess he was behind me trying to talk to me. And mind you, also, he loves to have that dip in his mouth or snuff or chew, whatever you want to call it. That's something that he does. He's not a smoker, but he does dip. And he's the type of person that you can't really understand. He's a real softer spoken guy too. And he's not big, but he's like my height, if not a little bit smaller. And he just didn't talk loud enough. I didn't hear him. And by the time my dad noticed what he was trying to do, I turned around and he had stormed off, talking under his breath, all pissed off. And my dad told me, one thing you don't want to do with this man is piss him off. Once you piss him off, even for the smallest of things, he's going to hold a grudge against you. And then he's pretty much going to make your life a living hell. And he hasn't made my life a living hell in the sense of, made me do anything stupid. It's more the fact that he's held me back. And there's a difference between me saying somebody holds you back. Like, for instance, you can't, your dad isn't gonna, or your family, or your situation isn't holding you back. It's yourself, But whenever you get into a company and you got somebody that is above you that don't like you, then you can sit there and say that he's holding you back, because it's true. He's held back plenty of people. I know, the guy that I was talking about, he's been held back by the same exact foreman, now superintendent. I mean, look at it. He has his son, somebody that's been here not even a year, and he's on a dozer. I was on the dozer for 2 months before I was taken off of it. My dad, I even remember asking my dad, this is broke. Am I supposed to stay on it? Because I'm being told to go with the truck to another job. He's like, yeah, that's your equipment. Whether it's broken or not, you're supposed to stay with it. That's what all operators do. But in reality, what that was is it was a ploy. Yes, it's not like they broke it. It was just his way of weaseling in and getting me off. Because if you look at it, I haven't been on the dozer since it broke down. And it's been over almost a year since I've been off. You can believe me or not, that's no big deal to me. I know he's held me back. The only way that I would never be held back is if I went to another company and just built my way up from there. But at the same time, like I said, I would have to find a company that's going to be willing to pay me the money that I'm getting paid now. That's the thing. Because if I can't find a company that's going to be paying me the same amount of money as I'm getting now, then there would be no point in me moving, if that makes sense. Because this is my livelihood, I'm making over $20 an hour. So until I can get my other stuff going on, then this job is what pays my bills. And I'm not mad at the job. It is what it is, But I was kind of hoping that I was going to be able to get to learn how to do something else, keep me motivated and, making me actually want to do something instead of just doing the same old bullshit and knowing what the hell I'm doing. I already know how to drive a truck. It's not hard. After the first couple months, you already know how to fucking drive it. Plus, I want to learn from one of the best operators I know, if not the best operator, which is my dad, I mean, I know there's better operators in the world than people, but at the moment, he's the one that I know that is the best operator. And I wanted to learn from him, but I can't learn from him with somebody that's not letting me do it. It is what it is, though. That's just the way life is. The way I look at it is life will put you where it wants you to put you for a reason. So if I'm meant to, for instance, be a heavy equipment operator the rest of my life, I'll be doing it for the rest of my life. If I'm meant to make money on my own business solely, not just working at a job and then having a business on the side, then that's what I'm supposed to do. If I'm supposed to build the business up to the point where I'm solely working on it and I'm only getting money from that, and there you go, cool. If I'm supposed to be making money off social media, that's what I'm supposed to do. If I'm supposed to have a home, then I will. It really all depends on where life wants you. Everything happens for a reason. You know? I don't believe in the sense of how can I put this? I believe just the fact that if we're supposed to do something, we will do it. If it's meant to be, it'll be. I just don't care. I'm just gonna work and work and work until I get to where I want to be. If that makes sense. I know I kind of messed everything up, but I was kind of tongue twisted because I was thinking about something else in the dog. But I know it's a longer video, but still, it's just interesting on how things work in life. And, I'm working towards those goals. One of these days, I will be there. I'll have my brand new car. I'll have the house that I want and the yard that I want and be in the area that I want to be. But we'll see when that day comes.